this should have game of the week implications, but it doesn't. And I get it. So many great games this week. It's hard for little old American Conference to compete with what's going on. But this is our Friday night game in Texas. We know what the Friday night high school games are like in Texas. Can you imagine in Denton, Texas, a Friday night college football game and what that looks like? It's going to be outstanding, man. I promise you. North Texas, undefeated, 5-0, hosting South Florida, who's been battle-tested. I think the people who really like South Florida in this game, they like the fact that they've been battle-tested. They're back in the AP poll top 25, and they should be. Both of these teams are tempo-heavy teams. We'll see some of the best offenses in football. You will see them Friday night. They're both tempo-heavy. Aggressive defenses, because you kind of got to be because of the offenses that you face. And we got a beautiful Friday night coming. So these two programs have only met twice, back in 2001 and 2002, and South Florida took both. They were the bigger program at the time, for sure. So let's talk about North Texas. Love their head coach, Eric Morris. I love the way that he built this team and the way he imagines this team. They do run the air raid. You guys know that that's the system I'm most familiar with. Offensive coordinator Mike Golesh. He is a disciple, believe it or not, of Mike Leach. So he runs a more modern style air raid, but you can see those old principles that Mike Leach or the great Hal Mummy, who invented this air raid system, you see those principles now. Drew Mestemaker is playing outstanding. I remember how angry people were when he was named starting quarterback, but they was like, yo, this is a story made for the books. This will be made into a movie. If North Texas finish with 8 or more wins this year and a nice bowl game appearance and they win the bowl game, this story is, I mean, even at 5 wins, this is a story made for the big screen. It absolutely is. But Drew Mestemaker is playing outstanding. Outstanding. Over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 70% of his passes are being completed. It's crazy. I believe he has no interceptions on the season. And Malik McGill, he makes them pay. Drew Mestemaker does a lot of dirty work, but Malik McGill is pretty solid, got over 300 yards on the season and 4 scores. They're averaging 45 points per game. North Texas is moving the ball at a really high clip. So let's talk about Skyler Cassity. He's the defensive coordinator, and this game is all about deception. It really is. We talk about teams who use multiple fronts, and the reason you have to use multiple fronts is based on the looks the offense are giving you. If an offense decides to go extremely heavy, then yeah, you got to be able to run a heavier front. If they're, heavy pass, then yeah, you got to run a different front. So they're running multiple systems. Skyler Cassity does. It will switch from 4-3, which you will see them in, but you will also see them in some 3-3-5 principles as well. And they preach reading the quarterback eyes, right? And you can do that a lot of times in zone systems. You're not looking at the routes. Let's read the eyes. He throw the ball. Let's go get us an interception. They send pressures from everywhere. That's those simulated pressures we always talk about. Overloads, various stunts that they like to do with this defense, right? Linebacker, Seth Witter. He's built for this type of defense. A defense that's built for violence, built for high IQ. He's built for this defense. He's playing outstanding. And Keith Huddleston is playing amazing as well. So Skyler Cassity, that's what you're going to get out of his scheme. Let's talk about South Florida, Veer and shoot. So we got Alex Golesh, who is the head coach and play caller for the Bulls of South Florida. He comes from the Josh Heupel tree. Very successful in 2022 there when Tennessee's was the darling of the sport and Jalen Hyatt was open every other play that year. Yes, Alex Golesh was the offensive coordinator there. And I think Joey Hazel, who's now the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, has definitely figured it out, because you're seeing Tennessee being able to put up points in bunches as well. Like I said earlier, Golesh calls his own plays and he lives out of that Veer and shoot system. Some people will call it a Veer and shoot spread because it has changed a little bit since you got to South Florida. But sometimes the player skill set that you have on your team, you're forced to change. Your offense should never be, the same. And we see that in the school we're going to talk about a little bit later. So his philosophy is simple. We got wide splits. They want to stretch the safeties, make defenses play every inch of grass. Also, it's a numbers game. If we have wide splits, we got a bunch to the right, and that bunch, you only got 2 people to cover that bunch. That means, well, I want to throw the ball to that wide receiver. My 2 blockers going to pick up those 2 players, and we got plays to make. Now, if you're worried about what we have on the outside and the inside, the numbers are, hey, our running back just got to make one person miss. Well, that's your running back's job. Make people miss an open space. So That's what you want to get a lot in this Alex Golesh system. Byrum Brown playing outstanding. He's their leading rusher. I know as it pertains to passing, only 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I know some people want to see him get those numbers down, but he does so much for their team. I don't like when people are critical of someone. You said if Illinois wins, you'll stop slandering Brad Underwood for a season. Hey, that's hilarious, Jalen. I don't like when people kind of say, yeah, Byrum Brown is good, but how many quarterbacks have to do what Byrum Brown has to do week in and week out? Every week he's on his Mariah Carey, his best rendition of Mariah Carey when a hero comes along. Every week he's doing that. Look, his wide receiver, you don't got to look no further. His go-to wide receiver is Christian Emerald, who's playing outstanding right now, over 400 receiving yards. And he's one of those guys, because of the spacing, because of what this offense allows, he can turn a short play into a large play. So let's talk about the other side of the ball. We're going to look at Todd Orlando and his 3-3-5. It's like a controlled violence type of defense. He brings pressure with a purpose. His 3-3-5 defense thrives on confusion, 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, and chaos in every gap. That's the way they want to run this defense. It's aggressive, it's fast, and it's violent. And I know we're not supposed to use the word violent as we become more aware of concussions and things like that, but you can't play scared. You just can't play scared in college football. You cannot at all. So we have the air raid on the other side, Veer and shoot on the other side. I expect absolute fireworks this game, and this North Texas crowd should be crazy. It should be raucous. This environment should be absolutely incredible. I have flipped a coin on this game 3 or 4 times. I think the Mean Green of North Texas find a way to win this game. I know South Florida is battle tested, but what happens if this game becomes a shootout? If it's a close game, I favor South Florida because they know how to win close games. But if it's a shootout, give me Mestemaker, give me that offense, give me that air raid, and them finding abilities to put the points on the board. So give me North Texas in this game. I think it's going to be an outstanding game. I think this is great. These games that we're getting this week, we are not worthy. We're not worthy at all. So let's get into our next game. We got Bama versus Missouri, and you guys can go ahead and hit the overtime button because we definitely going over an hour today, but it's all good. I love breaking these games down for you.